Hello everybody, and welcome back to a very wet Bedford Park, which is in Cefn Cribbwr, Bridgend. And today, for my outdoor adventure, I'm at Cefn Signal box. I think it's probably about 30 years since I came here, and I think it's about 30 years that it was sort of restored and made to a bit of a, well, not a tourist attraction exactly, but they do, it's owned by a charity, and they do open this box up a couple of times a year, I think. Probably not this year, of course, because of COVID. And I've come up today, and I can't believe how lovely it is, and there's all these artifacts around. I don't know if they're original or whether they were salvaged and put here, but old trucks and obviously original. There's old railway lines leading up to the signal box, levers. I love things like this. And Teddy's with me as well, so we've come up for a walk, and it's a cycle path and it goes along what would have been the old railway line. And as ever, when I come to places like this, I can't wait to go home and Google, because I can't remember the history of this signal box, but I assume it was something to do with all of the iron and coal industry around here, presumably. So yeah, glad I came up here today. I was expecting rain, but it's managed to hold off. We're a quarter of an hour walk away, and it's just starting to rain, so I think we'll head back to the van. But we'll come back. Well, I wasn't lucky. It did start raining, so we're heading back to the van, and we're going to put this heater to the test, see if we can dry off nicely in the van. Well, we're back in the van. One wet dog and me. And yeah, I think I'll put the heater on now just to see if we can dry off a little bit. So here I go. One button to light it up and one to get it going. Oh, it's really pouring down now. Oh, it's a good job I'm not house proud, isn't it, Ted? So I've got the heating on. It's been on only a couple of minutes so far, but it's just starting to get the warm air through. I've put the lights on because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's unbelievably dark today. It's one of those days I don't think is going to get light at all. But it's quite nice being in the van with a bit of heat, hearing the rain outside. I think Teddy's as glad to be back as I am. So the ironworks, I remember them being restored and sort of set up with all the information boards around in the 80s, and my father and my mother and I used to come and visit them, and because Dad was really interested in the local area because he was born in 1920, not far from here, so he always had a lifelong interest in local history, and I guess I take after him. So I had a little look around the ironworks. A little disappointed you couldn't get in, but I can understand the potential for vandalism. So it was nice enough. You could see from outside the barriers. I don't know why they're shut, if it's anything to do with COVID or whether they're permanently closed now. But you can see the ruins, and there's a lovely walk going all the way around the perimeter alongside a little river and the cycle path. And then just the other side of the road from here is Cefn Signal box. Now I loved going to look at that. That dates from 1898, and it was restored by the local community here, and it's opened a couple of times a year. But unfortunately it's been targeted by thieves a number of times, so a lot of the memorabilia that the group had collected was stolen. Oh, just unbelievable. But I wasn't expecting to see much there, but I was pleasantly surprised to see artefacts, the iron signs, speed limits they look like. So I don't know whether they bought them and added them or whether they are original, but they're obviously very old, and it was really lovely to see that. I'd love to see inside, and I don't know if they ever open up the doors again, but there is a Facebook page, so I think I'll join there and have a little look. But yeah, it was again, I think a few of you commented last week on the fact that we probably all abandon our local areas, don't we, when we go out for days and go and try and see further afield, which is lovely too. But I enjoyed having a little look at this area, because I think it's probably 30 years since I've been down here last. And the cycle path's lovely as well, so we've got a cycle rack, so I'm hopeless at cycling on roads. Any traffic, I start wobbling all over the place. So I'm only safe off-road, but not that off-road. I mean off-road as in flat paths, not off-road as in mountain biking. Richard likes mountain biking, but not for me. So we're going to come back, bring the bikes, and it looks like it's an old railway line, so they're perfect for cycle paths. So definitely come back and do that. I don't think Teddy's speaking to me because she likes a walk, but it did start to pour down as we were coming back to the van, so she's wet and sulking a little bit. But I have put the heater on. It's been on, I've been fiddling around in here now for probably at least half an hour, and the heater's been on. Turned the temperature down because it was getting a little bit hot in here. So yeah, I've given that another blast today. Teddy, you still sulking? I love her. You are beautiful, aren't you? And as you can see, Teddy is in need of a clip again, and she will be done before Christmas. So I'm drying off, my coat's drying off, toasty and warm. I think Teddy's forgiving me now, she's warming up a little bit as well. So yes, the heater does the job, warms the van really nicely, and it's pretty quiet. You can hear it blowing, it's not silent, but yeah, it's I'm really happy with it. Really lovely and warm coming through here. Now I've got a little tear here which definitely needs fixing. It looks very shabby, doesn't it? But Colin suggested, and I think it's a really good idea, about putting a reflective panel on the door here. I guess to protect the door, but also to throw some of this heat, because it does come down into the footwell here. It does get very warm here. Not dangerously hot, but it's lovely and warm down there. So I guess a reflective panel would throw the heat back into the van, and I think that's a really good idea, Colin. So I'm going to get Richard on that. I've been in the van, it is now 2:30. I've been here an hour and a half. Wow, doesn't time go? 2:30, but look how dark it is out there. And rainy. But I am very cosy in my van. I've had a lovely quiet week. Nothing dramatic has happened. I went to college a couple of days. It's getting close to the assignment handing in, so I'm learning new editing software. I have always used the iMovie software which came on my laptop, and I remember when I first edited I found that really complicated, but I've sort of got used to it. But in college we're using Premiere Pro, which is a little less user-friendly, so I have to get to grips with that, which obviously is what I joined the course to do. I am looking to sort of use different software and learn different skills, so it's all going well, but I hate not knowing how to do something. It feels really clunky. I'm getting to grips with that, and yeah, I think as a family we're getting sort of sorted for Christmas. I mean, not sorted as in doing any shopping, but we're talking about Christmas now and where we're going to put the tree and what we're going to eat, which is always really lovely. Other than that, other going to college this week, I haven't been far at all. Richard's been cooking a curry in the house this morning. We're doing a beef curry. We're tenderising it, so it's on in the slow cooker to tenderise. I'm hoping when I go home now the house is going to smell delicious. And tea is going to be pretty straightforward. Get the rice cooker on, get all the Indian snacks in the oven and some naan bread, and yeah, that'll be our evening. And go through my list of films again, which I am really enjoying, and I'm watching all sorts of genres as well that are suggested to us in college, because I tend to watch films that I know I like, dramas, psychological sort of thrillers. But it's opened my eyes and I'm expanding my horizons and learning all the directors, because to be honest I've never really paid much attention to directors. So a couple of films that I've watched, one was Adaptation with Nicolas Cage in. Really enjoyed that. Again, probably one I would have read the blurb on it and thought not really into that, but I did. I really enjoyed it. And the other film I enjoyed then was Three Billboards Outside Missouri, or Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Very long title, usually just called Three Billboards. And I really enjoyed that. So yeah, and what I enjoy doing after watching these films then is reading all the reviews, going online and finding all the sort of the film critics, because I'm kind of learning all the technical aspects of filming and everything, so I'm finding that's helping. So I'm turning into a bit of a geek really. But other than college and family stuff, it's been a quiet week, and that's all good. We're all keeping well. I hope you are all keeping well as well. And I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to get home and maybe bath Teddy. She'll love that. And I will catch up with you next week. Take care everybody and have a good week. Bye.